What's up, guys? It's your boy Brandon, aka Mr. Carnivore, and I'm so excited to have the opportunity to introduce myself to you and share with you a little bit about my journey. I know most of you have no clue who I am, and so I'm so thrilled that you are even taking the time to get on here and to listen to someone you've never heard of talk and give you their experience and the things that I've been through on my journey. January 22nd. I woke up and I made a decision to change my life, to change my health, to change my weight. I was disgusted. I was disgusted at the person that I was seeing in the mirror, and I had a myriad of health challenges, which I'll get into that a little bit later. But I made a decision to change my life using the carnivore diet. You know, the carnivore diet, I'm sure that a lot of you have heard of it before. A lot of people call it a fad diet or whatnot. But essentially, what the carnivore diet is, or the primal diet, or the lion's diet, or whatever you want to call it, basically what it is that you go to zero carbs. You take all the carbs. That's whether it be plants, whether it be fruits, nuts, grains, oats, whatever it may be. You eliminate all of that out of the diet and you simply stick to animal products, mainly meat. Some people use organ meats and things of that nature, but I didn't go into all the organs and all that stuff. But I essentially chose to eat meat, butter, and eggs essentially for 90 days. And again, a lot of people did not really agree with it. A lot of people didn't really jive with it because it just sounds so extreme. I had never even heard of this before, maybe till a couple of months after I actually started. And it seemed extreme. It seemed out of the blue. It seemed like it was just something crazy. And I understand why people felt that way. But I will tell you that by the end of this video, you will understand how it absolutely changed my life. The person that you're looking at right now is not what you would have seen 7 months ago when I started this journey. And so I just am excited. This is really my first time sitting down on camera and recording that process for you. And so I'm just super excited to be able to give you this information and just share this story with you, share my progress with you, because it's near and dear to my heart. It's literally changed my life from the inside out. And so here we go, guys. I started the carnivore diet because in October of 2022, I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, and I was diagnosed with vocal nodules. Now, I have been a singer most of my life, since I was like 4 or 5, before I could even start remembering. I was singing. I've been a worship pastor in many churches across the country. I preached for a long time. I've sang professionally in some really, really cool venues over the last decade, in Vegas and in Houston and in California and just a whole lot of places. So that's been my experience. That's been my life. And so to go to the ENT, and the reason I went was because I had started to experience a lot of vocal fatigue and a lot of issues singing that I never really had before. My voice had gotten extremely raspy, and it got to the point to where I couldn't hit the notes that I used to, and even my lower range had started to give out on me, and I knew that I had a problem on my hands. And I probably already knew that I had nodules, but I just did not want to give way to it. But I bit the bullet and I went to the doctor in October, and he confirmed what I had already been dreading, that I had vocal nodules. Okay, so as a singer, to have nodules, that was just extremely devastating news. But he started to run the gambit. He said, listen, you're 207 pounds, you're overweight, you have sleep apnea, and bro, listen, I can snore. I'll get to that later. But he said, you got sleep apnea, your cholesterol is high, and you have acid reflux, and that is not helping you. All of these things are a recipe for disaster, and they are exaggerating the nodules that you have on your vocal cords. He said, you have so much mucus, I can barely see the nodules on your throat, on your cords. And so he gave me a list of things that I should do. Stay away from fatty foods, only eat lean meats and very little of that. Go on tons of greens, eat a lot of that stuff, cruciferous vegetables. If I ate fruit, kind of limit it. Nuts and stuff was okay. Lots of water, stay off the coffee, stay off the soda, all of those things. And I won't say that I followed that to a T, but I will say that for the most part, none of that stuff worked at all. It just was a waste of time, and I was super depressed by December. I had pretty much just stopped singing altogether because it got to the point to where I could barely even hum. If I went to go, it would go. It was heartbreaking for me, guys. I've never had that type of problem before, and so I was super depressed, all those things, and I decided to start doing a little research. I had ran across a friend who was doing the carnivore diet for some issues that he was facing, and I kind of looked into it a little bit, but didn't give much credence to it. And then in January, I kind of started watching videos and looking at some of these doctors like Dr. Anthony Shafee, and Dr. Ken Berry, and Dr. Kilt, and Dr. Siwas, and a lot of these other people, man. And the information that I was hearing was so controversial because it was the opposite of so many things that I had ever heard in my life as it pertains to health and wellness and the way that we're supposed to take care of our bodies, right? And so January 22nd, I made the decision to go on the carnivore diet. Now, I've been on diets before. About 2 years ago, the last quarter of 2021, from October 2021 to January 2022, I lost about 30 pounds. I was running in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, like 5 to 7 miles each time I was doing it. I had pretty much cut out a lot of what we would consider bad foods, and was trying to do kind of a low carb thing. I was doing a lot of fruit smoothies, and it got to the point where I was really just doing vegetable smoothies, not even really putting fruit in there. I was always in caloric deficit. Okay, I was really restricting the amount of food and the amount of calories that I was taking in on a daily basis. Some days I fasted one day, sometimes I would fast 2 days at a time. Sometimes I would only eat one meal and then very little at that meal. So I've done things before. I've done the vegan thing for a little while, and I saw some results, and I've done a lot of stuff. But I decided that I was going to give this a try. Okay, and so I did consult some doctors, I did consult some friends, and I didn't really get much favorable information about it. A lot of people really said that I should just stay away from it. It was too extreme, and that I was going to end up probably doing myself more harm than I would good. But in spite of all of that, I made a decision. I made a pact with myself. I said, you know what? This is what I'll do. Instead of exercising over the first 30 days, I will just do the diet and not exercise. So that way, if this is something bad for me, I won't exaggerate the issues at all. Okay. So again, after much research and all that stuff, January 22nd, I started. And guys, I was in a low place. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I had to make a change. Okay. And so I started, my first meal, I think, was just eggs, bacon, ground beef, and the Kerrygold butter, right? And that's what I ate. I probably ate that twice that day. By day 6, guys, now keep in mind, I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea, high cholesterol, reflux, vocal nodules. By day 6, before I had lost any kind of significant weight, it's only been 6 days, I stopped snoring. I want you to hear that. Before weight fell off, I stopped snoring. I have been snoring like a hog for the last 15 years, at least since I graduated high school, which was 15 years ago, I think now, or 16 years ago now. Boy, I'm getting old, okay? I stopped snoring in 6 days. Also, I stopped taking my reflux medicine because all of the mucus that was on my throat, and I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but I also had, I had severe mucus on my throat and my chest cavities and all of that stuff. And it got to the point where it was so bad to where I had spit cups, spit bottles, like just old empty water bottles in the car and in the house because I was spitting every 5 or 10 seconds the mucus from my throat. And I had been doing that for months, y'all. Not weeks, not days, months. I had been doing that. Within 6 days, all the mucus in my throat had cleared up. And I knew that I was on to something. I knew that I was getting myself into something that was way bigger than I could have ever thought or hoped for or imagined, okay? By the end of the month, January 22nd, February 22nd, I had lost 27 pounds. I remember I was at 207 and I had lost 27 pounds. Okay, guys? Also, when I first started this, I was taking a multivitamin. I was doing fish oil and doing all of those things. I stopped supplementing about 3 weeks into the diet as well because I realized not only just by what I felt, how I was feeling, but also just by the research that I did, that every essential nutrient that I needed as a human being to survive and to be healthy, I could find it in meat, okay, or in the animal. So I just stopped supplementing, stopped the vitamins and all of that stuff. Month 2, I think I probably lost about another 10 or 15 pounds. And then by April 1st, so I was going for 90 days, right? By April 1st, guys, I had gone from 270 pounds to somewhere around 145, 150 pounds. So I had lost pretty much 60 plus pounds, give or take, before 90 days was out. I think that's, if I do the math right, that's probably like, I don't know, 68 days, close to 70 days. I had lost 60 plus pounds, cured my sleep apnea, got rid of the chronic inflammation in my body. My cholesterol had leveled out, my reflux was gone, and the mucus in my throat had completely deteriorated. And I knew that the vocal nodules that I had on my cords were starting to also get better as well because my voice was loosening up more and more and more and more and more. Another thing I want to tell you guys is that as I sit here now, I'm 232 days into this now, okay? So I'm still alive, I'm still healthy, I'm still well, and I'm still eating the way that I was eating, right? Another thing that just absolutely blew my mind, when I started this, my neck size was 17 and 3/4 of an inch, okay? Right now, my neck size is 13 and a half inches. I lost over 4 inches just in my neck alone. When I started, my shirt size was large. And if I wanted to wear something a little more fit, then I would wear an extra large shirt that was slim fit, right? Okay. I am now in an extra small. It's so bad, y'all, to where sometimes I have to go and shop in the junior section because I literally went from large to extra small. And not just extra small, I can fit extra small slim, extra small skinny, okay? I went from a 36 in my waist. Right now, I wear a 24 in waist size, guys, okay? So, and I know some of y'all may say, that's so small. But my point to all of that is that the results that I experienced were so drastic in such a short amount of time that it just absolutely blew my mind. And I will honestly tell you that it is the most incredible thing that I've done because I hate it, guys. I hated the person that I was looking at in the mirror. I knew I could look better. I knew I could be better. And I was operating at such a low vibration, y'all. And when I made the choice to do this diet, guys, there weren't a lot of people who were on my side. There weren't a lot of people that had my back or that really encouraged me, because it just seemed like it was such a crazy, crazy, crazy thing. I had people tell me that I was gonna have a stroke, that my blood pressure was going to be sky high, that my cholesterol would be through the roof, that I'd have hypertension or metabolic syndrome, or whatever. I'd be dehydrated. Guys, none of that was true. None of that was true. And I don't think anybody said anything to be mean or to try to discourage me. On the contrary, I think people were genuinely concerned, because this is so contrary to what we've been taught and what we know to do as far as health is concerned and how we are supposed to eat. But I will tell you, within 70 days, before 90 days was out, I had lost 60 plus pounds. I had cured every ailment. I did very little exercise. In month 2, I started running, because I do run. I like to run. That's one of the easiest things that I can do to exercise. Put on my shoes, go outside and run. I did run maybe 3 or 4 times in the second month, but nothing significant, guys, nothing. The weight that I lost had nothing to do with me running or me exercising. It had everything to do with me changing what I was eating on a daily basis. And did I have any challenges? Not physically. It was really more so mentally. I had to, again, get out of my head, and I had to make sure that I stayed focused on the results that I was looking for, and not really give much credence to the naysayers or to people's opinions about what I was doing. But it put me in an incredible, incredible headspace, because I had proven to myself that I could do something extreme, and that I could stick with it, and I could see it through to completion. But not just see it through to completion, but I was right. I took a bet on myself. I took a chance on myself. I gambled on myself, and I made it work. And I will say this, I would not have been able to do it had I not had the information that came from the incredible doctors that I watched. I'll tell you this, I should have started with this when I started the story. I watched a video by Dr. Anthony Shafee called "Plants Are Trying to Kill You." And I know it sounds extreme and clickbait, whatever. But that 30-minute video sealed the deal for me. It gave me so much information, and it gave me the courage and the stability and the foundation and the reassurance to say, hey, what you're about to embark on, you can do it. And here's the research, here's the medical research, the scientific research behind it. But if it wasn't for guys like Dr. Shafee, guys like Dr. Cyrus, who taught me that I was an addict. I always viewed an addict as somebody who is addicted to alcohol or addicted to drugs or pornography or whatever it may be, but I was an addict. I was eating obsessive amounts of foods, especially carbohydrates, all the time, all day, every day. And I didn't realize it, because, man, I'm a nice guy. I'm a talented guy. People like me. So nobody really ever commented on my weight, but I knew that I could do better. I knew that I had to make a change, and I did, but I couldn't have done it without those doctors. Dr. Anthony Shafee, Dr. Cyrus, Dr. Robert Kiltz, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Baker. All of these guys, man, they really, really, really helped me, and I would not have been able to make it without their information. Steak and Butter Gal, I listened to a lot of her stuff starting off. Without these guys, I would not have been able to make it, because I had never really seen anybody do this before. I didn't have anyone to talk to. So I watched them, and they mentored me without knowing. From a distance, they mentored me. And so I just want to encourage anyone who is struggling with their weight, who is struggling with their health, going on the carnivore diet, eating meat. Oh, let me share with y'all what I ate every day. I ate bacon. I ate ground beef, not the lean stuff, 80-20. If somebody would have had a 70-30, I probably would have tried that too. I ate turkey. I ate pork. I ate a lot of pork. Pork chops, man, was just the thing. Ground pork. I love turkey necks. I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana, and I was raised in Beaumont, Texas, and so I'm country, y'all, at least when it comes to eating. And I ate turkey necks, and I ate turkey wings, and I ate a lot of chicken, and I ate shrimp, and I ate fish, and I had a lot of butter, real butter. Had a lot of good butter, and I ate a lot of salt. And I know that, and I ate a lot of eggs too. The eggs were always there. And I know that is so contrary to what we have been taught as to what we are to do when we're eating and trying to diet. But I'm here to tell you guys, if you need a witness, if you need an example, if you need a case study as to if this thing works, I am a living witness that the carnivore diet, not only does it work, I believe in my entire heart, it is the optimal way to diet. It is the optimal way to eat, not just diet, to eat. It is the optimal way to eat. And I can assure you, I will never, ever, ever go back to doing what I was doing before. And again, people would say that's extreme. No, you know what's extreme? The fact that from 1990 to today, over less than over 33 years, from 1990 until today, okay, that the diabetes rate in America has tripled. We're the smartest, most advanced country on the planet, okay? And we're getting sicker and sicker and sicker every single day, every single month, every single year. And they throw drugs at us like it's nothing, like it's going out of style. There's a pill for this, a pill for that, a pill for this, a pill for that, a treatment for this, a treatment for that. Guys, I did not get better with medicine. I got better with food, which is the real medicine. Because if you give your body what it wants, your body will give you the results that you want. Come on, somebody. So, what people say, man, it's so extreme. No, my issues were extreme. 33 years old, sleep apnea, high cholesterol, hemorrhoids, inflammation, reflux, and probably a myriad of other things that I didn't even know. And 207 pounds. And my heaviest, I was 223 pounds. Okay. So, really, if you put it all together, I probably lost closer to 80, maybe even 90 pounds when you put it all together. But on this diet specifically, I've lost almost 70 pounds. And it didn't take a year. It took me less than 3 months. It took me about 68, 70 days, y'all. And so if you need proof that this thing works, I'm your proof, man. And I'm going to be on here as much as I can, giving you as much information that I can. Listen, I'm not a health expert. I'm not a medical professional, but what I am is a man that had a problem who cured it, and now I've got a story to share with you. And I can't wait as time goes on and I keep putting these videos out to share with you not just the things that I've experienced and the things that I've learned, but I also want to share with you the results that the people that have so graciously trusted me to start working with me. I want to show you their results, man, because it is astronomical, the things that have been taking place. I'm talking about fibromyalgia cured, gout cured, high blood pressure cured, diabetes cured, hypertension cured, alopecia cured, eczema cured. I'm telling you, the list goes on. And so I'm just, again, so excited. This video's been long enough, but I'm so excited that you decided to get on my channel, that you decided to listen to a little bit of my story and my process and my journey. And I promise you, if you are struggling with anything, by the way, my mental is so much better too, but I'll get into that another time. If you are struggling with anything as it pertains to your health, your weight, you need to get in contact with me. Hit me up. I'll answer your questions. I'll coach you. I'll help you get through it. But make the decision, because I will assure you that once you do this, and if you do it right, you have to listen. I wouldn't do it by myself. I would do it with somebody that knows what to do, how to do it, so that you don't mess up, right? But I can promise you that if you do this, and if you do it the right way, the results that you will come away with will absolutely, absolutely, absolutely blow your mind. My confidence is back. I used to hate taking pictures, guys. Hate taking pictures. My confidence is back. Now you can't get me away from the camera. Uh, my self worth is back. I've got a positive self image. All of those things. It's giving me my life back in more ways than I can ever express to you. So that's my story, guys. And I'll be getting into a lot more detail over the next few videos as time goes on. But hey, it's your boy Brandon, aka Mr. Carnivore. I love you. And if you'll stick with me, I'll teach you how to eat right so you can live right.